Coming is the international network that gives us big opportunity to deliver value to different customers around the world. So thank you, Gurtam. Okay, moving to my presentation. Today I'm talking about the AI part in the transportation and how we can utilize AI in breaking through these extraordinary times. I will try to manage the time, but really I am in this arena waving papers, 5 minutes so I don't say that. Okay, so I will not talk about Streamax. I believe most of you know about Streamax, but I will focus on 4 points, and mostly for the last one. So, of course, for the data and the AI, how we move to AI, and the most important is how we utilize AI in this hard time. Why data is important? I think you are the experts. You know that data is very important when it comes to transportation, to take the right decision, to improve situation, to get more benefit and add value. Usually in transportation we have 3 points. We focus on the safety, security and efficiency. So first, when it comes to safety part, vehicles on the road, you need to improve this safety. You need to reduce the risk, to eliminate this kind of risk. When it comes to security or when it comes to efficiency, how you use these solutions or telematics on board the video to improve and make better value for the user. Now, when it comes to the data, there is 2 factors important we need always to focus on. First is the accuracy and reliability. Reliability of the data, because we are making decisions based on this. Second is how fast you can receive this data. Of course, you can record the data, get the data, and then do some analysis and get the information. We need to do something on spot to take the right action. Now, of course, when it comes to the data history, everyone starts with the points on a map, those. Then we move to the telematics, and then from telematics we add on, we empower the telematics with a video. So we record video from the vehicle, inside or outside, and then somebody can watch out. But this is still not enough. We need something more in time. Manage the video and get information on time. There is no sensor, physical sensor, can detect if the driver is in a fatigue situation. There is no sensor can detect if the driver is tampering the seat sensor, the seat belt. He's looking from the back or he's doing some tampering. So here will come the video AI part. AI is extracting information directly from the video. Now, when it comes to the AI, the most important is this diagram about AI. We need to understand how AI really works. AI starts from the business, from the root. We need to understand this customer, how they run their business, what is the operation flow. And then we move to the hardware. We choose the right hardware when it comes to the right camera with the right angle, with the right place. And then we start collecting data. For example, if we are talking about fatigue, we start collecting data from different areas about driver pace, the way he do fatigue usually. Different people showing the fatigue situation in a different way. Really, from our experience around the world, there is so many things. Even sometimes the angle of the head or the going back or like doing the wrist on the eye. Then we move to the most important part, which is the algorithm. After we collect the data, we do the algorithm and then the system will go for verification. But the most important is this loop back. The AI, to really make it efficient and make it right, you always need feedback, always need to get back to make it more strong. Now, here is a simple example. When it comes to driver behavior, the video-based AI, for example, we are focusing on driver face. So we get information from his behavior behind the wheel. When it comes to operation way, for example, we can get information about how many passengers on board, about what age of people usually take this taxi from this point to this point. So we know how to dispatch. Maybe the operator will dispatch 7-seat taxi usually to this area where it is have more demand. Or usually there is, young people taking this taxi at this time from this area. Now, simply when we talk about safety, driver behavior is important because driver is a big factor. So when we talk about like using the phone behind the wheel, it's a risky behavior. When we talk about distraction, when we talk about phone texting, he's using the phone for texting. All of this is, supporting reduce the risk of the driver behavior on the road. Smoking as a bad habit, fatigue warning, and also when we go to outside, like maybe the ADAS function is not giving enough safety distance or changing lanes, or even pedestrian warning if it is not watching out. Now, the most important when you integrate this AI into the real hardware in the system. For example, here for taxi, we have the meter and we integrate these into inside. So once he starts smoking, he will receive directly the message. In addition, of course, to reporting back, because we, as I explained, we care about the loop feedback. So even, for example, if he's when we talk about operation level, for example, driver face logging, we are using the AI to identify the person. So the driver, when he gets behind the wheel, directly we can identify him. No need to do like card or maybe some tampering with his car. They try to send someone in his place. Passenger counting is important data for the operator. Detect lost object. This is also a new, so we detect objects that left behind. So I don't need, if someone in taxi business, you know that lost and found is a big, operation, to be honest. They put a lot of effort and resources because many people forget bank, forget mobile keys, and then they need to call back to the center need to check which taxi and then call it to the center and find. This can easily detect once the passenger reaches the taxi, you can give directly warning to the driver. Lost and found test and Face ID is Face ID. If I lost something and I go to the center, they can just scan my face and then directly know which taxi I take from which place to which place. This also will help. Now, when we talk about AI, possibilities is endless, to be honest. We can detect a lot of things. It's all about making the device deep learning, learn about the sign, learn about the zebra line, learn about the pedestrian, vehicle, and so on. Now, this is another example for the ADAS system. So, we not only care about the safety behind the wheel, we also care about safety on road. For example, he is not giving enough safety distance or lane change, he's entering the lane without indication. This could be a sign that he's in a steep situation. Also, the headway monitoring that he's not hitting some vehicles that jump into the lane. The forward collision warning as well, and the pedestrian detection, pedestrian warning. Now, this is important. AI is not an algorithm, not only because you need this algorithm to work on the reality. I can develop algorithm that I can sit in the lab, take my face, fatigue. But when it goes to the real life, in the real vehicle, this is the challenge. So this is a good example. We can develop a DSM, like driver behavior, but some people put the sunglasses. So if you are not able really to detect still the eyes behind the sunglasses, this means your system cannot run in the event. The driver, the front lighting, you have a direct front light, maybe in the morning, or maybe changing the light condition. Changing light condition from high to low. Putting a mask, covering half the face. Outside the same. If there is a rain on the road, you still need your ADAS to keep running. You still need ADAS to detect the line. Still need in the low light, you still need ADAS to detect the vehicle and detect the object. So this is what I'm saying. This is a good example of changing the light condition from tunnel go out. These kind of things you cannot face it in the life. You need to really have it in the real life. And this is where AI proves itself. Can work or is only an algorithm on the software. This is another example for blind spot detection, like in daytime, but not only in daytime, we also in the night time to detect people and warn the driver or warn the rest. Closed loop is important. So basically, I give you the tool to extract information. So you get the detection, and then it will go to the platform for risk report. But you need the management, the fleet manager, to take action. You need to take action to close this loop. For example, maybe driver need coaching or need to improve. These will close the loop and improve the overall safety. Now, first, the active safety is for the device inside the car. You need the video telematic portal to receive this to the management. And finally, you need the big data analysis to collect this data to get the right action. Yeah, I can move this to take the most important. Now, because now we are in extraordinary time, COVID-19, we need to show how AI is not in the way. AI, we need to utilize AI to help during this time. Taking example the taxi business. Taxi business and public transportation in general being hit very, very hard with this COVID-19. People scared to take a taxi because it's maybe some application. The rule to, like a load capacity, control the load on the buses and so on. So at the end, this industry suffer from this COVID-19. We need to think how we can use or utilize the technology to really help this industry. Now, the target is to bring confidence to both parties, the passengers and the operators. So by reduce a potential contact with drivers.
Thank you for a great presentation. Could you tell more about closed loop education of system? If I buy your video recorder with driver assist system or people recognize features, who makes the system teaching? Is there some powerful tools at your platform that this manager can show it's not face, it's not a nose, it's a road sign, or it can be done by your company? How it looks?
Actually, yes. It will be done with a team who is doing the detailing part. So usually it's a combination between us and our customers. Because when we implement something, I can give an example like driver behavior, driver fatigue camera or behavior camera. We implement this camera almost 2 years before, more. And we start implementing in different areas. But we worked in the beginning, it was have some cases. For example, the driver put his hand like this. When he puts like this, we maybe give an indication of smoking. Because in the beginning, we need more learning. We work very close with the customer. So they feed us back with videos. We do the deep learning. We upgrade the system and send it OTA over the air. So it will automatically improve itself by time.
So to understand business model, it's a hardware part and maybe some research part from your side to adopt system for giving customer.
Yes. Actually, what we do, like for example, we supply the hardware. We are hardware manufacturer, and when we integrate these, for example, with violin, with this system, you receive the result on the system. Okay, but the improvement of the AI part is done by our side with the customer. So he feeds us maybe special cases, some videos, then we do this more deep learning to get a better result again. The most important about AI is effective. The customer really needs to understand. It's like the kids. You need to teach him and teach the kids to understand more, and then finally he will take a quick decision.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. It's a long part of work.
Yes.
And who pays for that? It's
a part of our service. It's part of our service.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Two questions. One is for your facial recognition. The biggest challenge, even the high-end devices like iPhone and Google, Samsung devices, they have problem recognizing dark skins, and they've been a problem for the last 2-3 years now. So how do you address that issue? And that's the fact, because even the Apple says we are trying to get there, but with darker skins and women, they failed to, the numbers are very bad. That's one thing. The second part is following up on the previous question, is about the majority of with AI is the, not the actual getting information, but the training, as you said. So just for in this case, it will be the NVU, natural visionary understanding and visions of understanding and so on. So do you provide that solution as well? So this is something that you not only provide the hardware, but also the learnings around it. Because that's always the part, whatever the projects I've done, delivered AI projects. People have delivered the projects in terms of the hardware, but the problem comes is the execution, because it's the learning process. You have to constantly make the system learn, but that's how it gets improved.
Yeah. I will start from the second question. To be more specific, we deliver solutions, not only hardware. So this kind of combination, the hardware and this kind of AI algorithm is one part. Now, when we address solutions, we work with the customer. We always focus on the target. We need this system to reach to a percentage, like at least maybe 98% or 2% good. Usually, we do not release a product with the AI in the market until we reach more than 90%. This is usual. But of course, this cycle, you keep working with the customer. And this is part of our service. Our target is keep improve our system. At the end, it is a solution we need to deliver. It's not only the hardware I just said. Now, talking about the Face ID, yes, we know there is challenges. However, when it comes to a hardware-based AI, it's little bit more powerful than only a software-based AI. When we talk about the phones or something similar, they are always trying to use the software algorithm. What we are trying to use, our technology is based on the hardware chip. The chip itself doing this kind of AI part. So I believe our result is enough better than software algorithm, but still we have challenge. And this challenge, we can keep doing the deep learning until we reach some certain ratio, like certain percentage of accuracy. I hope this answers that question. Yes, this system is not online system. Usually this one, the AI part run offline. After we train the system, we send the algorithm, it will run by itself. However, you still need some live notification, because this is what we are trying to do. We are trying to get a notification on time. We are trying to get something to the fleet manager to take action on time. So the best practice from our side as Streamax, first is the system will run offline, and you will only do some smart configuration. Some notification will be pushed, and notification usually is very small data. It's a packet of bytes. This will go to the back end, and based on this, you can build a strategy. If I receive a fatigue, for example, if I receive 3 times fatigue warning and lane departure within 1 hour, this means I have a high risk of accident coming. I need to know before the accident happens. So on that time, the system can catch this maybe 10-second, 5-second video and push it to the fleet manager or to the safety advisor, who can take decision. He can call the driver and ask him to pull over, take some rest. So basically, the system is not online. We are not consuming data. The system is running offline too. And some of our clients, they run the whole system offline. They just send the vehicles, and when the vehicle goes back to the depot, to the parking, it will push the data over Wi-Fi, and then they will evaluate the driver. But in this part, you will lose the fast action, the right fast action to correct the driver behavior.
I have a clarification.
Yes.
Sorry. So if you're going offline, you're missing a lot of training that,
yes.
Especially when you mention about the dark skin, it's like, okay, if you deploy this with the large population, with the same basic technique background. So here you could train the model. So if you're going offline, does it capture the high definition video and then upload it sometime when it is there, or how does it work? Because again, it will lose a lot of training data if you go offline.
Actually, the deep learning cycle does not have to be online. It's not necessary because there's no action you need to take. This is to improve the system. So basically, this is offline data. We have the high definition video recorded on the DVR on the device, and then when it goes back, you can push or upload this data over Wi-Fi or over like USB connectivity, and then we can start working on this data. So to be more precise, the deep learning is not something run online. This is different. But we are talking about the module. When we deploy the solution, we send the solution to start working on the road. We will maybe achieve accuracy 85%, and then we need to collect data back, but this can be offline. And then we improve the system, push only updates OTA over there. So it's not like an online cycle to be more accurate.
Thank you very much. I'm from Zambia. Most of my client is the truck drivers, fleet management of trucks. So how do you deal with the privacy protection? We have cases that drivers, they use the trucks at their homes. So if you are constantly monitoring all the time, so how that privacy protection will happen?
Okay. It's a good question because usually video is something people get concerned. The point is that our system is not only recording all the time. You can have a predefined solution. Having a system, for example, when it comes to some site, our camera recording all the time, but you can configure this. When it enters geofence, a specific geofence, you can stop it. If you enter a specific time base, from this time to this time, you can stop this recording. This depends on the operation level more. But our system is flexible. Even in some cases, we are not using the video. At the end, nobody has access to the video, but we can access the result of the video. For example, there's a key using the phone, but nobody has access to the video. In some countries, yes, we have some countries, especially in Europe, the video is a big concern. So we deploy the system, but nobody even we do not have recording of the video. But we just extract information like sensor, suppose you are putting a sensor to detect this driver is using the phone. So you will extract the information and send a notification, driver is using the phone, but there is no video if the country or the government or authority does not allow this.
Okay, where the data is stored? Is it inside or?
Now, if we want to keep the data, if they request the data, if the data is okay, we record in the vehicle. We have a storage. We have a device we call MTDR, which has a built-in storage hard disk. We record all the data there. So actually, we have the data as a video raw, and we have the output as an alarm. Fatigue, changing lane, maybe face ID or something. So you have two kinds of data, the video and the output as a notification. I think.
Very quick one, sorry. So going on to the previous one, so there are two things. One is the learning, which takes offline, right? And I understand that. And then there is the real-time alerts.
Yes.
It's not completely offline.
Yes.
So you want to see someone smoking, you want to remind them straight away.
Yes.
Kind of real time. Okay, got it down. Second point was about the storage itself, the data and so on, as you mentioned. It's massive data. We did a project some time ago where we actually monitor the brand's logo on the sports events. So what are the most viewed spots in the stadium for brands and where they can invest and so on. But this is offline because you can manage things as well and you can work around your time as well. Whereas in this case, it's just data is so massive, your vehicle is disconnected to data, and there's a big cost implicated to it because the core data is expensive these days, so it's not cheap. So how do you balance them out? So
Okay, that's why when I say Streamax specialists in mobility, we understand this kind of concern because data is money and in some countries really massive money. Our strategy on how we approach this kind of solution, usually we record the data on the NTDR in the vehicle. So we have a hard disk, we have a storage unit where we record all the data there. However, we are doing some smart checking when there is some notification for alert. Any event, you can redefine event. This tag of video, maybe 5 seconds only, will be tagged as important. Suppose we call it important video. So during the day, suppose the truck move for 8 hours, bus move for 8 hours, we have maybe total maybe 1 minute only tagged videos, separate slides, So these slides you can decide, you push it over LTE or over the 4G, which at the end will not go slow. Or you can keep it when these bus go back to the yard, it will push it over Wi-Fi. So we understand it's the online system. If you talk about streaming, of course, we do not do live streaming because this is a huge data. But we do the system smart somehow. When there is a demand, when there is really a demand, the system can start doing the streaming over the network. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.